In the heart of a lush, green valley lay the village of Umuaka, an ancient African settlement nestled between rolling hills and dense forest. The villagers lived simple lives, guided by traditions passed down through generations. It was a place where every person knew their role, and harmony was maintained by a strict adherence to the customs of old. Among the villagers was a young girl named Nneoma. She was born to loving parents who cherished her as their most precious gift. With her bright eyes and infectious laughter, Nneoma brought joy to all who knew her. She spent her early years playing in the fields, chasing butterflies, and listening to the elders' stories by the fire. But as Nneoma approached her 12th birthday, something extraordinary and frightening began to happen. Small, delicate feathers started to sprout from her back, growing longer and more pronounced with each passing day. The villagers, who had always seen Nneoma as one of their own, now looked at her with a mixture of fear and suspicion. Whispers spread like wildfire through Umuaka. "She is a demon," some said. "A curse upon our village," others whispered. Nneoma's parents, torn between their love for their daughter and the fear of the villagers' wrath, decided to keep her hidden from sight. Nneoma's once joyful life turned into a lonely existence. She could no longer play with her friends or walk freely through the village. Instead, she spent her days confined to her home, peering through the window at the world she could no longer be a part of. The feathers on her back grew into magnificent wings, a constant reminder of her isolation. One day, as Nneoma sat by the window, tears streaming down her face, she saw an old woman approaching the house. It was Mama Azuka, the village's wise elder who lived on the outskirts of Umuaka. Known for her knowledge of ancient law and her kind heart, Mama Azuka was the only one who had not turned against Nneoma. "Come, child," Mama Azuka said softly, extending her hand. "Let us walk together." Nneoma hesitated but then took the old woman's hand. They walked to a secluded grove, where Mama Azuka told Nneoma stories of ancient times, of heroes and saviors who were different but brought great blessings to their people. "You are not a demon, Nneoma," Mama Azuka said gently. "You are special, and one day, the village will see the truth." As the days turned into weeks, Mama Azuka continued to visit Nneoma, offering her comfort and wisdom. She taught her how to embrace her wings, to see them not as a curse but as a gift. Nneoma began to find strength in Mama Azuka's words, dreaming of a day when she could use her wings to bring happiness and peace to her village. But for now, the villagers' hearts remained closed, and Nneoma's struggle continued. Little did they know that a time of great need was approaching, and Nneoma's courage would soon be tested in ways she could never have imagined. Seasons changed, and a terrible drought struck the village of Umuaka. The rivers dried up, the crops withered, and the once thriving village was plunged into despair. The villagers, who had always relied on the bounty of nature, now faced starvation and thirst. Desperation gripped the hearts of the people, and their fear turned into anger. "It's because of her," the villagers murmured, casting accusing glances toward Nneoma's home. "She brought this curse upon us." The village elders, burdened by the cries of their people, decided to take drastic measures. They demanded that Nneoma be banished from the village, believing that her removal would end the drought. Nneoma's parents, though heartbroken, felt powerless against the will of the village. On the day of her banishment, Nneoma stood before the village, her wings folded tightly against her back. Tears streamed down her face as she looked at the familiar faces that now showed only hatred and fear. Just as the elders were about to send her away, Mama Azuka stepped forward. "Stop this madness," she cried. "Nneoma is not a curse. She is our hope." The villagers fell silent, shocked by Mama Azuka's defiance. The old woman turned to Nneoma, her eyes filled with determination. "Child, you have the power to save us," Mama Azuka said. "Fly to the sacred mountain and bring back the water that flows from the heart of the earth." "Only you can do this," Nneoma, though frightened, nodded. She spread her wings and, with a powerful leap, soared into the sky. The villagers watched in awe as she disappeared into the distance, a speck of hope against the vast, cloudless sky. For days, Nneoma flew over barren lands and treacherous mountains. Exhausted but driven by the thought of saving her village, she finally reached the sacred mountain. At its peak, she found a hidden spring, its waters shimmering with a magical glow. With great effort, Nneoma filled a gourd with the sacred water and began her journey back. The return trip was even more arduous, but the thought of her village kept her going. When she finally arrived, the villagers were gathered, their faces etched with worry and hope. Nneoma landed gracefully, her wings shimmering in the sunlight. She poured the sacred water into the parched earth, and almost instantly, the ground began to tremble. A gentle rain started to fall, growing stronger until it became a torrential downpour. The villagers cheered, their joy and relief palpable. Nneoma had not only brought back the rain but had also shown the villagers the error of their ways. They realized that their fear had blinded them to the goodness within her. The village elders, humbled by Nneoma's bravery, declared her a hero and a blessing to the village. From that day forward, Nneoma was no longer seen as a freak or a demon. She became a symbol of hope and resilience, her wings a reminder that differences should be celebrated, not feared. The villagers learned to embrace what they once shunned, and Omuaka prospered once more. Nneoma found happiness and acceptance, surrounded by the love of her family and the respect of her community. Mama Azuka, proud of Nneoma's strength and courage, continued to share her wisdom with the village, ensuring that the lessons learned would never be forgotten. And so, in the heart of the lush, green valley, the village of Omuaka thrived, its people united by the wings of freedom that had once been the cause of their division.